Are you going to run again? Yeah. When does your term expire? Your current term?
2020.
All right. Are you going to run again?
I don't know, but I'm planning on it.
You are. Okay. All right. I just thought I'd ask that because if you said you weren't, then that would be huge news.
No, I'm raising money to.
You're raising money and all.
You know,
yeah.
to do it again, but
Yeah.
you know, it's
Okay.
it's not a easy grind. You know, going up every week and going through, you know, losing every vote kind of thing.
Yeah.
It can be difficult. So, you know, it's like don't let the, you know, who what,
Yeah.
you know, grind you down.
So let me ask you that. Do you feel, when you say you're losing all these votes, you know, do you feel like you're making a difference?
Oh yeah. Right now, as we're speaking, there's a CalPERS hearing going on. I asked them in correspondence to give me answers to 2 potential solutions to the pension. So they're holding a committee meeting as we speak to deal with it. As soon as I get to the office, I'll see if the hearing's still going on. I'll live stream it. But they're starting to realize that I'm serious. I have proposed bills. They're getting killed, but they know I'm trying to find a solution. So if we are in the bottom 8, you know, with Connecticut and Illinois, which are already on the ropes, I mean, we're that close. We've got to start doing something. And CalPERS, deep down inside, they know it. They know they've got to start changing.
And CalPERS, explain what CalPERS is.
That's the California Public Employees Retirement System. And their board is dominated by union representatives who don't want to touch anything. They don't want to lower the investment assumption rate. They don't want to change anything. And right now what they're doing is voting to terminate plan sponsors that have somehow stopped making payments to CalPERS. And so they're giving massive reductions to the benefits of the retirees, and they're making the retirees take it in the shorts. And I'm saying that's not how this works. That's not how this is not what you're supposed to be doing. And I had a bill, it's a 2-year bill now, to say here's how we work an arrangement to get plan sponsors out of CalPERS to deal with their employees, because it's their responsibility to pay the benefits, not CalPERS, it's the plan sponsor. So we're having fun, and they're getting it. So I'm there. I feel like I'm making a change. I certainly, when you say, who's your daddy, you know, I think it wakes them up, it pricks them enough to say, wait a second, we're being watched, and we're being judged by how we vote. And they've got to figure out how to explain that to their constituents, you know.
Do you see any shift going on among Democrats? You know, in other words, maybe they feel beholden to unions, but their constituents are beginning to say, hey, what's this about? What's this guy who's, you know, getting paid and he's playing golf all day? You know, I mean, are they feeling the heat there at all?
I was elected in March of 2015, and in May of 2015, Senator Glazer was elected because he didn't win in the primary like I did. He had to go to the general. So he is an interesting individual. He was actually Governor Brown's campaign manager when Brown ran against the CEO of
Kashkari,
eBay.
Meg Whitman.
Meg Whitman, sorry. And Steve was the beneficiary of a frontal, brutal union attack. The unions didn't want him in the Senate, and he won. I think it would be fun for you to interview him. I think it would be interesting to look at his voting record. I was surprised how many times in the last 2 weeks, as we wrapped up session, how many times he voted against Democratic bills.
Even though he's a Democrat.
Even though he's a Democrat. Now, he did not vote for Senate Bill 1, the gas tax. That's why the Democrats had to peel off a Republican to get it to pass. And he lost his chairmanship of his committee for it. He paid a price for it, but he's still independent. And so if Steve Glazer is the future, we might see a lot more Democrats starting to be a little more moderate. We're not seeing it with Josh Newman. Josh is still voting with the PAC. That's why he's in trouble, because he's not an
the
independent
Orange County
guy
Democrat
out of
state
Fullerton,
senator.
right? So he's someone who is laying off certain volatile bills, you know, because of everything he's facing right now. But we need more Steve Glazers in the Senate on the Democratic side.
Last thing here in this open mic segment, we talked before the show, and you wanted me to ask you this. If you were like king for a day, and you could wave a magic wand and do a couple of things to make government work better in Sacramento, what would you do?
3 things. The first is I would hire a CEO. Cities and counties have executive officers that run the departments. That's not happening in Sacramento. You have a governor, and if the governor is the CEO, we're toast. 2, we have a legislative analyst office that does incredibly good work, but I would double their size and say, get out there and look at what else we can do from a management standpoint. 3, I double the size of the state auditor's staffing as well, because they're only doing a few audits per year. I might even 4 add a performance audit department, which we did at the County of Orange.
Man, you're talking about building up government.
Darn right, to tear it down. You know, because if we have 3,500 employees too many at CalPERS, what's happening everywhere else? Where is the slop, the waste, the inefficiency? Because no one wants to do anything because the unions run Sacramento and they're not going to let go of any dues paying members. But if you have an independent performance audit department, an independent state auditor, I think Elaine Howe is her name, she's getting all kinds of flack because she's taking them on. And we got to take it on. We got to clean it up. It's a mess, and it'll be too late when we're
almost sounds.
in
You almost said
bankruptcy.
drain the swamp.
We got to, we got to get some accountants in there to save the day.
Yeah. Okay, John.
But it's so irritating when you're up there when you got hundreds of departments and you know there's so much. I mean, they just probably show up to read newspapers. Give me a break. Give me a break. And every time I turn around, there's a bill. Set up a new committee, or set up a new this, or set up. It's like, what are you guys doing? And what's going to be really tragic is when it all hits the sand, when the ship hits the sand, we're going to go and say, you know, you shouldn't have done what the unions told you to do. And the unions are going to go, wait a second, we didn't tell you what to do. You voted for it, not us.
Yeah. And on that note, John, thanks so much. It's been great.
Who's your daddy, Rick?